council meeting to order, August 6, 2019. Additions to the agenda, we got a 5-minute executive session, non-elected personnel, potential hire. A 10-minute executive session underneath the land bank for property acquisition. Is there anything else? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Carries. 4-0. Citizen comments.
Today, Sandy Smith took a senior trip to Pratt. The city bus did not blow. It's cold for the air conditioning. I've been at the senior center for 3.5 years. I know it's been taken to Fishers multiple times. I know that Mel worked on it multiple times. It's not getting it done. It was 95 plus, plus the humidity on top. Something's got to be done. Our seniors cannot handle that heat and the heat indexes. So, that's what I gotta say.
Okay.
Been ongoing problem, huh?
Yeah, I think they've had issues with
Just
that.
fixed it, not like at the beginning of the summer. And she just came in to report that, so we haven't had time to address the issue.
Right.
She
Yeah,
said-
I'd certainly get looked into.
We haven't had time yet.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be on the list.
What done?
She said something about having Marnie's check it out. I don't know about all of that stuff. Like I said, this has been an ongoing thing for 3.5 years that I know of. It's just been band-aided. I know the seniors are not the only ones using it. I know budgets and everything like that are incorporated, but yeah, so.
I guess.
Did it seem to work? I mean, has been working before this last spell? Not at all, or sometimes?
Off and on.
Yeah,
It worked,
But-
we got it worked, I wanna say it was at the beginning of the summer and it worked fine.
right,
And then today, when she brought the bus back, I overheard her say
yeah,
that
yeah.
there was an issue, so.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what they've done in the past,
Right.
but we'll definitely,
I'd say take it to Fishers and see, I mean, they worked on this probably.
What
They can't
model
fix it.
vehicle is it?
That's what I was trying to think of.
It's like an
Ford.
E350 bus.
Ford
Yeah.
year?
I don't know what year that is.
I mean, and my air conditioner's not working very well in this temperature and humidity either, but yeah, I take Fishers.
Yep.
They're as good as anybody around. And they're close.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Get an appointment.
Take Fishers.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other citizen comments? Right?
This is more for information than anything else, but Sunday morning, I get mail for the church, and there was a envelope or a letter that was addressed to an individual that was not attached to our church or involved in the church. It was misdelivered. The outside of on the outside of the envelope was an expression that this is your second chance to participate in a movement to have St. John declared as a sanctuary city. And I just bring that to your attention, and I also, if it does come up to the city council, I would like to recommend or respectfully request that a citywide meeting be held for citizen input or for it to be put on a ballot. And it's just more of a statement at this point in time. I'm not trying to speak for or against it. I'm just saying that I saw that. It was on the envelope. It was not something that I didn't open somebody else's mail, but it was on the outside of the envelope.
Okay. Thank you.
first I've heard of it.
Any other citizen comments? Consent agenda, approve the minutes, regular council meeting July 16th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed, passes 5-0. Approve ordinance number 8619, $89,809.08, and petty cash $463.72.
So moved.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Department heads, grant administrator, anything from Lisa?
I got an email from her yesterday that said the signs that we've been waiting on that were supposed to be here before school are not gonna be here, so they're working with what they have, and when they come in, they'll be put up.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Lisa on? That'd be all the updated signs around the school through the state.
Yes. Yeah. And then, I believe David said they're gonna the school's gonna be putting up a lot of their own signs. Was part of what they had agreed to, so.
What was the year of the bus?
But I think,
They're gonna make something work.
yeah. But I think like the big changes, I think those signs are gonna be up and, but,
I think it was updating the rest of the signs around the school is what it was more that the state was doing. Okay, police department, got anything for it? Nothing? Anybody got any questions for police department? Fire chief, I don't see him here. City clerk Jamie.
I forgot to tell you, which you guys probably already know, but we got a letter, so I figured we should tell you. We paid off the loan from First State. I think it was for the Cadillac converters. But you guys would have seen all of that in the appropriations, but that was our last payment, so I think we're down to 3 loans. And then we only have 1 or 2 payments left on, so we'll be down to 2 next year, I think. Or just even the 1.
I think the mower and
The plant. The nitrate plant.
yeah.
So that was that. So they sent a letter, so I figured you guys should get updated on that. Jason had given me a quote for the well house roof. I don't know if you guys want more than one quote or what. It's $3,300. I don't know who that's through though.
Done. Down at the lumberyard, Donna.
Oh, okay.
Is
That's
that just the material?
That's just the material.
for you guys to do it.
We went to, we thought to put a gable roof on there instead of a flat one. And so that include the frame, everything, metal, screws, everything.
This is for just
105.
one well?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd we get the quote?
From the local lumberyard.
You got any other copies of that?
I can get it out. We don't have to, I can send it out in the packet for next month too.
But I mean, this is to redo the whole building or
The
what?
roof.
Just yeah, roof.
You're gonna build a gabled roof on it
Mm-hmm.
for, what's it, 8 by 10 by 10, 12 by 12? How big's the building?
Probably 10 by 10, I would say.
What's that, the size of the roof?
Yeah, what size of building? 10 by 10, 12 by 12?
No, it's bigger than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's 14 by 12. That's ringing a bell.
Just putting some sort of a hatch on the top so you can pull it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll set them up, of course, and then we'll sit there and get ready to and then put the 2x12 box in there, and then
Gotcha. I don't know.
then I assumed you wanted to go with blue and white, so that's kind of what was brought up.
That's a metal roof?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just looking at, because it says, it's got a couple different types of plywood to put on it. Like tongue and groove, it has 15 sheets. How big did you say it was? I mean,
14, 16 by 12, something like
really?
that.
And then it has sheetrock on there, 5 sheets, I mean,
Yeah.
and you wanna insulate it with
Mhm.
bats. And then, did you guys plan on doing this, I guess, at some point?
Yeah, yeah. As soon as the street stuff's kind of done, we'll get a couple of guys to come over and help.
I can't imagine it's too far off. If they want to do it, and they can do it. I'd say get it done.
Don't think we have a choice.
Yeah.
It's something you something you have to fix.
Yeah,
Well, it's no problem, it's not raining, so.
yeah.
It's been pretty nice for a month, hasn't it?
I hope we put a roof on it, it'll start raining again.
Well, yes.
And what else,
It's-
Jamie? We don't have to, you say we don't
Yeah,
have to
I mean, it's,
anyway.
yeah, it's not something that we have to approve because they're not gonna be able to work on it for,
Right. I
but,
wanted to get it done and get it in here. I don't think the prices will change in 2 or 3 months, I just don't think it will.
but
But you never know.
I don't think I have much. Our car
I don't-
shows
I don't see a problem.
at the end of the month.
I would guess that you could probably shop and buy materials cheaper, but this is local.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
She pays a couple utility bills.
She pays
and
utility
utilities,
bills, she
so-
pays taxes locally.
yeah, exactly.
It's local.
Yeah. I'm
I
sure
mean,
you
if
could
you
shop
get-
somewhere else and get a little bit cheaper, but if you run out of something, you can go back.
If you guys are good with it, we can,
Yeah, I
somebody
would-
wants to
I
make a
would
motion.
just-
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from St. John Lumber. What's that amount, Ross?
3389.34,
For,
30.
no,
You want us
no,
to do 3400?
$3,500.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0.
Our car show's the 31st of August, so if you guys know, and if anyone with nice old cars that wants to put their cars in the car show, the early registration is till the 15th. And then they can register the day of, well, up into all of that. And then we've added a lot of activities. The police department's doing Dunk-A-Cop, so that should be fun. And then the football team's doing a few things. We've added a watermelon feed. I think we're gonna have a movie in the beer garden, so.
Do you have everything taken care of for the license for the beer garden? Are we doing that or who's doing that? It's taken care of?
Mm-mm.
No?
No. I should probably do that because the beer girls probably aren't gonna do that. I need to request a beer license for the beer garden.
Where do you plan on
It's
having
just like
it
the
at?
CMB license for the Jubilee. It'd be the same setup. And the only place we can have it is the Dillon's parking lot. Cause John won't let me make the ordinance the way I
I
want it.
don't see that wrong with
John has nothing to do with it.
The state does?
Yeah, ruining my plans.
You can put the beer garden anywhere you want if the city's the one that designated it as an exempt part of city property.
So, for this time, I think we're just gonna put it where we can have it and look at options in the future.
Can we exit
it.
the parking lot plus the building, just in case it's inclement?
What bill do you,
It'd be the Dillon's building if it was raining.
yeah, I don't know if the Dillon's building.
But if it's raining, I don't think we're gonna have a car show at all, so. Cause people aren't gonna bring their nice cars downtown.
It's highly unlikely it's gonna rain in August.
That'd be a good problem to have, wouldn't it? Just bring it in and bring that deal out. So we need to make a motion to approve you getting a
In the past though, did we do
CMB.
we had to do a resolution, don't we?
I thought the resolution was already in place.
The ordinance exempting it, but there needs to be something that the city does tonight, which then gives you permission, like to set the date and the time to use the parking lot. And I wonder if it's sufficient enough for it to be just reflected in the minutes.
I guess it would be different from Jubilee because of it being on private property.
Yeah, private property is exempt, this is.
If I understood this ordinance a little better, I guess it helped.
And it's fine, if you guys wanna make a motion to approve that date and time now, I can, when is this, the 15th of August?
The 31st.
Okay, and what's the state requires it, how far in advance, I can't remember, 2 weeks or something?
The CMB, like, no, the CMB, it's just, this council has to approve it and we just have to send it in stating that the state really doesn't have anything to do with it. It's all locally, like, council approves it and state just,
Yeah, but you have to
claims their
notify
money.
them because then they send you the sales tax form later.
no. That's for the liquor, not for CMB. Cause I triple checked that after Jubilee.
Okay, I mean, now that they've gotten rid of CMB
Yeah,
and we're
well,
just
I
now all
called her.
enhanced liquor, I don't know, I mean, so, if the council just wants to approve the date and the time, and then that's reflected in the minutes, and if that gets it done, that's.
Cause it's just like a CMB license for the store, I guess, but the difference would be,
But you're
It's
getting
one
the
day.
person, there's a person or somebody that's gonna be in charge of it. That's the thing. So is that gonna be you or is that gonna be?
my name was on it last time,
Okay.
yeah.
I move we do the 31st of August for the car show. Jamie gets a serve malt beverage license, we do it on the Dulles parking lot. And if necessary, we could move inside into the building.
And I'm not sure we can do that because it's not exempt from.
Okay,
That's what
leave
just
the
has to be
building
worked
out.
Second.
Got a motion and a
At
second.
time, I need the time, the hours.
Really?
Yeah.
We need the hours too,
Yeah.
8 AM to
from
midnight.
8 AM till
Midnight?
midnight.
Just remember, if they show up, because they've shown up before, if they show up at 8 AM and you're not there, they're gonna think,
Well, the time can be different on the application, and the application doesn't go to them until after, like, we send it in once a month.
I don't know about that. I did this today on October, for Oktoberfest. I think what you need to do is what, the time she's allowed to sell beer is what the vote needs to be on. Because you're gonna sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're gonna sell tickets, what are you gonna do?
Sell beer.
Okay. So I think you just, the time you're gonna do the beer garden, time it starts and time it stops.
I think it's at 11. I don't know if we put an end time on it.
Well, setting it and then time. 11 to 10.
Midnight.
8 to midnight.
I just couldn't,
Let's see. In other news, I can update you guys on something else that's great.
After we take care of this or what?
Well, while you're waiting. We have $30,000 donated for the fountain. So that check should be coming in,
Anonymous donor.
whenever I'm not certain yet. I don't think so, but
Not public at this time.
I don't know yet. I want to get more information from them, and because I told them that we would like to do like a plaque or something to thank them, and if we are able to do the unveiling, because they're looking at starting on the fountain next week. So
We'll thank our benefactors from the council, and I would certainly recommend we put a plaque up unless they wish to be anonymous.
You bet.
so
Absolutely.
great news. 11 to 4 for the beer garden.
So you gotta redo your motion, or it should die from a motion.
Yeah,
I don't think it was seconded.
I just heard a lot of back and forth.
I'll let somebody else try.
I'll do a motion to have Jamie get a sewer beverage license on August 31st from, what time, Jamie?
11 to 4
From 11
a.m. to 4
a.m.
p.m.
to 4 p.m. At the Dillon's parking lot.
August 31st. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0.
Yeah, no, I'll be the first to admit that those applications change annually. And I have not done my application for Pratt this year. So it may be that they just ask you to attach the minutes now, and then you'll just have to do that.
Yeah, I don't even think we have to do that. I feel like it
Because I've always had to attach a resolution, but again, this stuff changes all the time.
Like when we did the beer tasting last year, we had to do that because it was liquor. But when it's just C&B, because we're just having, but it's not it's not even C&B anymore.
That's the thing. It's enhanced, vitamin enhanced.
So yeah, it's gonna be real weird. So yeah, I don't know.
Anything else, Jamie?
I don't think so.
Jamie had one thing. Are we set up, I was looking tonight, we haven't had any bills from White's Food Line or buying gas that we talked about months ago. Is that something we're set up for and we're just not doing?
Correct.
Okay. Well,
Can you make sure we do that?
I will direct them again. Yes.
Every other month, isn't that what we agreed?
something like
1
that.
month shortstop, 1 month Whites.
Yeah. Just something, I mean, they pay utilities, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and spread the business from.
Yep.
Anything else for Jamie? Jeff's not here. Did anything?
He had given me that paper about the water.
Point of diversion.
Yes. I didn't know if you guys needed more time to look at that, or if you, I don't have any. He handed me this afternoon and kind of went, basically just told me what it was and that it cost. He said $100, but it says here $200. Do you know?
What we would like to try to do eventually is get that number 2 well down there on the water load out and get it going back to non-potable water instead of going through the plant. And so that's what we're trying to do. So what we went and talked to Elizabeth over there at Stratford, KDHE, and we want to move the water rights off a couple of the wells to move back down there. And by the time she got done studying it, we have more than enough to move down there on what your reports are that come up. And that's what we were just kind of wanting to get done and see if we can't get that going. And then eventually stick out a couple of pipes out the side, you know, and then so start loading from the side instead of up above as well. But we need to start somewhere, and this is the perfect start at getting it. And then if you guys agree on it, the mayor needs to sign it, and I can take it back over to her and then let her get going on it.
So you're gonna transfer some water rights around? Is there any penalty? We gotta forfeit anything for transferring?
And I just got this about the same time you guys have, and I haven't had a chance to look at it, so I'm completely dependent on Jeff on that issue. Because that was my concern, I thought, Jamie.
Without losing some permit?
Yeah, and I have no idea.
No, it's just transferring. It was
No penalty?
easy thing that we went over there and she did it within a matter of an hour. Just talking with her and she had it done. I'm not for sure, I can't remember which of the 2 wells, but she took some off that one of the higher ones that, I think it was 5 was one of them and I can't remember what the other one was.
Why do we have to transfer in order to pump it out of there?
Because of the permit of the permit. They took, when they closed, they abandoned that well. And
Right.
they took the water rights off of it. So all we have to do is just transfer some off the other 2.
We have no water
back
rights to
on
that
that,
well.
so we could pump it out of the ground.
Cause they went where?
They took them away because of the high nitrates.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, like, why'd they,
They basically shut the well down. So basically, we pump water to the treatment plant, and then from the treatment plant back
Yeah.
down there to load out.
Yeah.
It's just a load out. That well down there doesn't ever run.
Right.
And what they're wanting to do is transfer water rights from the other wells and put them in that well there so they can,
I just wonder why they were ever moved to begin with, why didn't you just leave it alone? I mean, you know, now was it a reasonable cause to move it somewhere else?
I don't think they ever moved them. The state shut the well down.
Okay.
So
Then the
KDHE
water
should-
right should be there.
Yeah, the state, they can't shut your well down and just take your permit.
unless it lost it first because of some non-use or something of that nature.
Maybe.
I don't know anything about the issue.
You know, that's,
I would say
Table.
table that until we can.
Check into that
John
for us.
can look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Jeff needs, I probably just need to talk to Jeff.
Huh.
I think these water right, I think they're
Just moved them
accessible
so they
online.
didn't lose them because they weren't.
Yeah,
gonna
they
use
might
it
have.
over
That's, I
time.
think that's, yeah.
They might have just moved them all out of there so they didn't lose them.
And in the matters of, if it's okay, then we have to, we should get, I made a map, she told us of all the, a circle, a radius around that well of all the other people that we have to contact. And you'd be one of them. And, they'd have to, get it signed saying it'd be okay for the city to get the water rights back into it and all that stuff. But we have to go with it and sign that, or the mayor has to sign it before we can do anything. We were just looking at a way to, more salt, more this, you know, the use of
Yeah.
that plant.
Yeah, and we talked about that before, you know, you're pumping.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, the guys that come in from the oil field, you know,
Mhm.
they're using soft water or conditioned water or whatever. They don't care. I don't think.
They
So
don't
we
care,
have-
but it costs the city a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why right now Venture's buying, they're buying some off of us right here, right now, aren't they, right by the
Yeah,
shop?
and they could be down there. Firemen, everybody can just go down there, once we get this coming out the side with the banjo couplings and stuff, they can hook right up to it. I mean, it'll cost some down the road, but this is the start of it, doing it right here.
But my understanding right, that we're basically shutting other wells down to get that one?
No.
going?
You're just taking some of the water rights.
What's that mean?
Well,
I
we're
guess?
just-
If you're pumping 50 million gallons a year out of it, or if that's what we're permitted for, and we're only using 12 million gallons out of it, we're taking like 15 million off of that, moving it down there, because we got way more water rights on per gallon down there a year.
And when that comes out, that's directly from the well, it's not going over here, I mean,
Nope, that's just coming out to the truck.
Are St. John's water rights under one vested water right, or is each well vested itself because?
It would seem
it's
to
gotta
be,
be, huh?
well, I don't know.
I would say it's all one
The way
with
that they're
different
talking about
points of
moving
diversion.
around, yeah, exactly.
It's all,
I wonder,
it's one permit with different points of diversion.
Right.
The issue that
that would be what I would think, it's one, and it's a vested permit, it's prior to any Kansas water law when they took the water in 48. So it's vested.
yeah, that's municipal, so it's, but I mean, still, with all the water issues we've experienced in the last couple of years, just makes me
Now,
want
when
to.
doing that report, if I remember right, 3, 5, and 6 are separate, and then your 7 and 8's a battery. If that makes sense, because they're so close together, they consider that one.
I guess my thing is, I just thought the permit was still there, I guess I'm just a little confused.
Yeah, I
why it's
would
going-
think you'd lose your permit.
No,
Because you're not losing a right, you're just losing the point of purchase.
I think the permit might, it's been a while since we did this, permit
Right.
still might be there, but the water rights are just gone. I think she was just wanting to borrow, or just move some from others.
I guess we just find out a couple answers and then we can prove
To
it.
make sure it's allocated to the,
Yeah.
I think they're just changing
I'd just like to know where it
allocation for
was to begin with, what the amount was, the allocation, where it went, and then how much we're putting back. That's all I'd like to know. Where we started, where we're at, where we're going.
Yeah.
But otherwise, then I'm all for it.
You said number 5's the one less from pool, is that right?
I think one of them's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can find that out. According to John and Jeff.
Yep.
Anything else for Jeff? Jason?
Pipes in. Just, I was gonna say the overflow pipes in.
Oh, the overflow pipe.
It's, It'll make the state guy happy now.
Yeah, and we had a safety inspection and he came back with like a 20-page thing of everything we needed to change.
Oh, yeah.
We got,
That was the insurance thing, wasn't it?
no, it was the state.
Oh, state.
So we got, most of that either taken care of or scheduled to, I have to get rid of my fridge, so,
No more quick cutsies.
no,
Ain't easy.
no, so,
There used to be a
We've all
treadmill.
got to make sacrifices.
fridge or treadmill,
There used to be a treadmill.
I'm gonna need it now.
Jason, you have anything for us?
No, not really. We
You guys got
poured
anything?
some concrete around town, and then we put what I called a boat dock out there at the, one of the #1 sewer pump. Back the truck up there, get it off on a slab instead of going cavitating our concrete out there.
Anything for Jason? Did David have anything?
Just the street signs, but that's
Okay.
Second Street dips looked good.
Yeah.
Told David that, I'm sure y'all helped on it.
I have got a question about the roughness on it, so if you guys are addressed with the roughness, it's not complete yet. It's basically just, I don't wanna say Band-Aided until they,
It's
Sure.
Well,
temporary.
it's pretty, yeah, it's just pretty, they just sat there and took it and ground up
but then they'll
Yeah.
come and,
until they get ready to mill it all off and
Mill,
redo it again.
Yeah,
so.
I know it's rough, but
The
They want to
roughness,
do a couple, 3 more or something.
I got
like
questioned
that.
on it yesterday, so if anyone does, if anyone approaches you about that, it will smooth out once they get to work on West Street.
John?
Bill, the only thing I had was, do you want me to do anything about fireworks? Or do you want me to wait 11 months?
What do you mean?
You know?
I thought that was kind of fun vote. What do you, I guess what am I?
The thought was at the meeting prior to 4th of July is that we need to revisit, and I was directed to bring it back to council in August.
Like revisit it, why?
The ordinance, the way it's drafted.
We want to make an amendment to,
Make it the same every year or what? What am I?
Basically, we would probably do where the council gets to approve, set the dates and times at, by vote of the council in that resolution.
Well, I'd like to do that. It just,
I don't see.
I don't think we got a
problem.
choice, do we?
Where there is an issue, remember there's an issue, somebody can't vote, so the council will fall under the ordinance related to fireworks.
I'd say go forward with that.
And it's basically just cleaning it up to where that isn't questioned, because you guys still had the authority at the time, but the way that it's worded.
Yeah, I think it was done in 1980 or something like that, so it's no long.
So what do you
Okay.
need from us?
Just
Motion?
if you're ready, I can prepare something.
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be good. We got to approve that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it.
I guess we'll do the public hearing. I gotta close the regular meeting, John.
Well, yeah, you need to go
Recess.
recess and go into plan, that's what you want to do.
The public hearing. for the
Oh, the
budget.
public hearing, I'm sorry, I'm way ahead of myself. That's right, recess and go to the public hearing on 2020 budget.
Recess regular council meeting and go to public hearing on the 2020 budget and 2019 amended budget. We'll open the public hearing now. Any discussion from anybody? Questions? Do we need to go ahead and approve that in the public hearing?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the 2020 budget and the 2019 amended budget?
So moved.
Is there a motion?
Second.
And a second? Any more discussion?
Does everyone understand the budget? We never had a budget meeting. Is everybody happy with it? And do we think we understand it? Because I'm not certain I do.
No, I made it pretty clear last meeting, I guess, that we're gonna get it significantly earlier next year and spend significantly more time, because I'm not on board with it, but
No, I'm not really happy with spending
I'm
$3
not.
million on a budget that I don't understand, and we did have a budget hearing, and we discussed fireworks ad nauseum, listened to the whiners, bitches, and complainers, come back when we make a decision about fireworks. And we spent 3.5 million, and we have a hurried 15-minute discussion. I can't say that. I'm probably not gonna support it, the budget, to adopt it without a budget meeting.
I agree.
Probably need to
I
have
agree
a
100%.
workshop next year, as we're saying.
But
I could agree with that.
I don't think it hurt us to have a workshop on this budget.
I agree, Ross, that we need to get it earlier, and whatever, Jamie, if you need to push you guys to make sure they get their stuff done, push them hard.
I think it's probably okay, and I don't think we have a bad budget. I just don't think, I'm not
It
comfortable with
it deserves far more time than it was given.
it.
I can tell you guys, because I do one for the county fire department, months before it's time to approve it, you submit your budget, and then that department goes in and meets with the commissioners, and they refine the budget, or they tell you to fix it or change it, and so they give you more time, and then you go back in, and then they make their changes, and then, I mean, it was 2-3 times before they approved the budget for the fire department. And that's kind of how they do it with each department head. You submit to us what you're doing, why you're doing it, and we'll review it and kick it back to you if you need changes, or we'll leave it as is.
And Marshall showed me what they do, and it's
It
far
does.
better than what we do.
But they start that a pretty good time before it's actually time to approve the budget.
You guys can give directives to department heads too and say, you know, for example, you could say salaries aren't going to be increased this year, so don't submit a budget with increased salaries. You know, you could do, or you could ask them to find 5% savings and stuff, but that happens way before you get to this point.
So like basically, if we can make it mandatory to where each department head gets with Jamie one at a time, and maybe 2 months prior to, we have a special meeting after they've discussed with Jamie and looked it over, and we'll pull them in 2 months down the road and let them know what we want to change, and then they can come back maybe 2 weeks after, something like that.
What about even after our audit and our final numbers come in, we could set up something like the county does, and after that audit, then I can get the budget worksheets out right away, because I usually wait for the audit, and then the county gives us more information, and I usually wait for that, and that's when I start working on putting all of the numbers into the final budget. But
And when does that take place?
they usually send their papers out, I think May. It might have been Ladonna might have sent hers out before she left this year. So April, May.
Yeah, it certainly needs more attention.
Yeah, I'm
I
not,
think-
happy with how it is. I agree 100% with Jim. I'm not.
Well, I guess
I
what,
can't vote for it. I'll just say I'm not gonna vote for the budget as it is. And you know why, and it's nothing against any base at the table. I'm just not comfortable with it, and I'm going to vote nay.
something I'd like to discuss, I don't know if we would do it now or amend the agenda to discuss it, but where we have a strategic plan for roads and whatnot. I mean, you've kind of wanted to get something like that going. I think that's really important to know, especially talking the strategic plan, the amount of money that a person's looking into before we do the budget. We need to know how much money we have to play with and plan out a short-term plan and a long-term plan. So I don't know if we need to discuss that now or add it to the agenda, but that's really important when somebody's discussing the
Discuss
budget.
that on the new business part of scheduling budget training. So I do have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries 3-2. We'll close the public hearing.
2019.
We just done 2020 and 19 together. Can we not do that?
Maybe we ought to do it separately, I don't think it matters, but I don't know what Jim, since we have divided votes, I think we should probably do it separately.
Okay. Then we'll leave the public hearing open. Do I hear a motion to approve the 2019 amended budget?
So,
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries 3-2.
Do you know what you're opposing on that one?
I haven't seen the 2019 amended budget.
Okay. Anything else for the public hearing? We'll close the public hearing, open up regular council meeting, and continue on to old business, West Street.
Still waiting for it to get worked in.
Okay.
Is that for the grinding of the curbs? Or what's that?
West Street, southwest.
Oh, southwest, to finish the ditch south of the tracks.
I haven't had a new update, so I assume they're still just letting it.
I'd say
Weren't
pray
they
for-
waiting on a rain?
I would say they're definitely praying for rain for digging that ditch south of the tracks now. There ain't no way they can dig it.
Yeah.
what about Northwest Street? Have you heard?
They worked on that dip,
Like as far as grinding the,
second. And I don't know when they plan on starting that, cause the county's gonna wanna seal in like September, so. Do you know when David plans on starting the milling?
No.
Yeah, he hasn't voiced that to me either, so I can find that out and have it ready for
yeah,
next
but want the
meeting.
county to seal it and they're sealing their other stuff.
He working this week?
It's gonna have to happen pretty soon.
Just gone tonight.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think he was trying to get the painting, the school thing done first.
Yeah,
And then,
and then they were
I
gonna start.
think,
Right.
Well, while we're discussing old business, don't remember us ever telling Jamie to take off the fountain off of there, and I completely forgot about it. I just want to be pretty clear, like, as far as when it's on old business, that we all agreed to have it taken off and then taken off, because I don't remember, am I missing something?
The fountain wasn't on there when we discussed that.
I was pretty sure it was on old business.
You wanna just add it to it easy? I mean, if that.
I was pretty sure it was there.
It
I
has
just
been a
completely
little while,
forgot about it, and I
It's
remember
gonna
them saying it was in
probably be
August.
done in the
but
next 2 meetings.
I'm just,
We could add it,
Yeah.
and that could be under old business for each meeting, keep it
but for the
updated.
future, let's not take anything off until it's a consensus from council to have it removed.
Right.
Everything
For-
since
for-
we had that
supposed to be in
discussion
there
has been
too.
on there.
Truck parking lot, and truck.
Yeah, we never got anything with the truck parking.
Right. But I think we did agree we'd put that on hold till we got some millings. I think we did talk about
Yeah,
that.
did we ever agree on a truck route?
Yeah, we
Did
approved
we
the truck
approve them
route.
last
Yeah,
time?
and the weights, yeah.
And you're the sponsor of the bill.
We're still not forgetting anything lately.
Okay, street
They have
signs.
medication for this.
Okay, so this would be what your street sign would look like with the tiger on it.
It's gonna be blue and that's gonna be to the side,
And the letters are gonna be white.
so it's not too detailed?
Right? That's
'Cause
what I
that's
said.
extremely detailed,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. The guy actually came out here because they were having conversations, and the lady finally told David, she was like, I think I'm just gonna send somebody out there, because I was like,
From Ottawa?
they went from that, and then we picked the paw print because it would be easier, and then they still brought that. I'm like, is there a price difference? But there's not, so
It's pretty neat. I'm glad we didn't get anything detailed.
right. Okay,
So are those getting ordered? It's officially done and we can take that off old business?
if you guys want to approve it tonight, I can get them ordered. But David wants me to explain to you the difference in these quotes. Because we went,
He already gave us some bids once, didn't he?
I think so. So basically, the bid to replace the existing poles and everything is $12,110.65 for each sign in the city.
Every sign, post, sign, everything.
Everything. So the difference between this and what I'm about to tell you is these are double-sided signs and they use this hardware where it basically just clamps in and there's a little screw and it gets a lot of wear and tear and it's done within the first year or two. So what people are going to is this hardware, and it's basically 4 signs with 4 holes here, and the signs bolt together, and then they use is it a rivet bolt? A rivet.
Yeah.
And so it's just more withstanding of the elements, and you're not having to replace signs as
The
often.
problem with those other ones is they have those little they go in the insert of it, and it's just a little Allen head screw. And then after rain and snows, it just sits there, and no matter, WD-40 won't get that thing out, and then you end up destroying it anyway. And that's the problem with those. That's the problem with
12,000
those
is the
older
high bid
stuff.
for the good quality.
No.
Okay.
What is the first bid? Because you just gave us options. What's the first bid
No.
include?
I didn't give you options. I told you that what we're currently using
No, but
and
With the first bid, the
with this
12,000.
is what we're using. What we're looking at is moving to this hardware,
okay.
which is $13,065.90.
Which
Less
not to
than, less than
$1,000
$1,000 though.
Correct.
That's a no-brainer.
Right. Okay, your other option with the Tiger. That price doesn't include the Tiger. So the $13,065.90 is for 460 signs. So I took the 460 times $750 a sign for your Tiger head, which is going to be an additional $3,450.
Oh, that was a good idea,
That's for the entire town.
3,500?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So you're
So-
going
So then I also I mapped it out in here from all the way through First Street, 4th Street to Monroe, basically, because Broadway is the pretty one, and then Broadway to the football field, Prairie to the football field, and kind of everything in the school zone tennis court area, and came up with 130, I hope that's right now, 132, which would be about $1,000 to get just the school.
If we miss some, people are gonna be real upset. They don't think that's on the
Oh,
beaten path.
right.
I
And
think
that's-
it's all or nothing.
that thing looks sharp. I think it's gonna look cool.
It's all or nothing.
I think it's all or nothing.
$3,000. How long are those signs gonna last? Quite a while, probably.
When's the last time we bought some? Anybody know? Jason? Forever
A
ago?
long time ago. The way the signs look like.
copyrighted?
Wasn't that kind of their bolt? That's in their wheelhouse, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't give them that.
I have no idea. I know David sent him a Tiger, but I don't. He got a picture from the school. So,
That's surely manipulated enough.
I know a town when they went to the 911, they had to get new ones, and it's been over 15 years, and they still have that blue logo on them. And you could see them a mile away.
When we're talking about signs, those signs will make the town look cleaner, believe it or not. It's gonna look sharp. With some nice
is it because of
signs.
the blue or because of the new
nice
sign?
trophies in Cool.
some kid's bedroom.
That's exactly how we get.
Maybe not with the new hardware.
You make them look that nice, they won't ever stay
Is that
up.
more rough type?
For those rivet deals, I mean, they work really good. I just, if we're gonna spend good money,
It's better, I think
It's
it's
good
better
stuff.
than those inset screws, those Allen, those things.
One season, K-State put the big pro flags up.
So what are we
Every
looking
home
at?
game, one of the
Jamie,
flags
total?
disappeared. You could see the asshole.
And
If
you
we
couldn't get,
did,
you couldn't pay kids to work that hard, but give them a little incentive for their bedroom.
$34.50.
My kids
You're
are
looking at $16,515.90.
it'll change the looks of the town. You guys are laughing at me, but it will.
I guess
I'm
you
not
get
laughing.
a bunch of those stickers
I
made
think
up,
it
and then he
would
gives it to kids, and they won't take the signs.
Like I said, make a motion, what was the,
16,515.90.
say that again,
16,515.90.
I make a motion to approve changing all the signs with the tiger emblem on them all around town for $16,515.90.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Passes 5-0.
What's the time frame on this, Jason?
I'm not for sure about that.
Elster contract.
I left that on there because we never really,
Pay them, that's Rusty Gate, right?
yeah, we paid them. I have still not been able to find where anything was approved.
Wasn't in my notes, wasn't in her notes.
I
I don't
mean,
think there was ever anything that was voted on to approve signing the contract with.
I don't know if it was like an approval of the project and she just signed the contract.
It's got a signature on it. Not sure.
I think it has Bobby's signature on it too, didn't it? Or was it just
The
Ladonna's?
city's paid at this point,
Just
although you can say that it was never approved.
So, and I know Jim voiced his opinion, so I left it on just to let you guys discuss and,
I guess if nothing else, we're gonna stay a little more up to date on our billing and our monitoring and managing our expenditures are recognized.
Being a suspicious person with other things that have happened, and with a contract that council never approved, and John doesn't recall.
The only thing my records reflect at that time is the under contract that we were.
I'm not certain that maybe this should not be referred on to other people that are investigating other issues around town.
It's kind of a non-elected personnel executive session discussion.
Yeah, that probably needs to go to executive session. I'm being suspicious.
Amend the agenda, add a 10
We
minute.
can, you wanna do that under executive sessions?
Yeah,
When we go to that?
we do that now, John?
Sure.
Yeah. Make a motion to amend the agenda for 10-minute executive session to discuss
Ulster contract.
elected personnel issues.
second.
Got a motion and a second to amend the agenda for a 10-minute executive session, non-elected personnel to include council.
So you can make the motion. Are you making the motion to go into executive session now?
No,
Or you just want
I just
to
amended,
add it?
I said amend the
Okay.
agenda, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries 5. Let's, carpet in the skating rink.
I'm never gonna recarpet my home or anything else ever again. I don't think that I have, the numbers that I gave you are not apples to apples, so,
I'm a little confused.
uh-huh.
I'm a lot confused.
Well, okay, so basically option 1 was good. Option 2, the first guy that I talked to said we would need a bad. So he gave me a high price and a low price, but then when I talked to him this week, because they were supposed to cut up the quotes for me for the different rooms, because we're gonna, like, we don't think we need to replace the senior center carpet right now. And so they were supposed to cut everything up for me and they didn't, so I attempted yesterday to call and get numbers, and I'm still sitting with nothing, so.
I would say probably though out there where they're skating, you don't want pad under it.
So I was gonna say, did you make it aware to them that it's
Yeah,
skating?
but the guy I talked to today said that you wouldn't want a pad underneath it because it's glue down carpet. And I reminded him that I was just listening to the guy. So, option 2 is like, yeah. I mean, we can go with that carpet, but, and then option 3 is the sample I got from. So basically it's option 1 with like this rubber backing, option 2, or option 3. But those numbers aren't right because option 1 and 2 weren't cut up the correct way, so.
What's that all for?
That is for everything, the
They
carpet,
arranged carpet in the whole building.
yes,
Not the walls.
no. Or the baseboard, we're gonna do something else with the baseboard. I haven't figured that part out yet.
I would stick to the carpet, because when the kids hit it with their roller skates, it won't scratch you up like if it was vinyl or anything else.
They have like a rubber pad that they talked about, but I don't know.
Well, for sure, I mean, that didn't look very good to me, I mean, until, I wouldn't vote on anything tonight.
Yeah, it is.
And I think if we can make it look prettier with more detailed information, maybe on an Excel, because I don't feel comfortable voting for
I mean, I
anything.
can show you what they sent me.
Well, who were the quotes from, I guess? Is that
Two
just
of
from
them,
one?
2 of them were from Lowe's and 1 was from Abby's.
I haven't skated over there for years since my kids were here.
Think about
I
it.
just can't even visualize it, over there skating.
Well, it
We
looks
should go
like,
check it out.
Are you skating?
It's
It looks
been a while
cool.
since I've been over there, but what about the countertop in there? It's carpet, right?
Yeah. Eventually, I would like that to just not be carpet because it's hideous. Because the amount of money they want to carpet something like that is ridiculous. So I don't
but you
feel.
didn't even get a quote to
No.
know what ridiculous is?
He said that it was. He said that's all custom upholstery, and he would not even suggest it.
Abby's?
The Lowe's, the guy that came out for Lowe's. Abby's came out. I picked out the carpet. They came out. They showed me that number.
And that's number 1,
3.
3.
I guess, I ain't trying to be a hardtail, but I'd sure like to have a breakdown of the square footage and where it's at.
Yeah. And, yeah, apples to apples for sure. I mean, tell them this is
I mean,
exactly what I
this-
want.
this-
The other
yeah.
ones do the exact same thing. But, yeah, I don't know. That's some pretty nice carpet. It's gonna look like shit if you don't do anything with the counter. I don't think it'd hurt to get a quote, and the quotes are free, to see what the counters cost. I don't know of another option, but I remember when I was skating in there, I mean, you'd see people hitting that all the time, and the baseboard, I'd like to see it be carpet too, really. I mean, kids are hard on that stuff. I just think do it all, like, and have them break it down. How much is a countertop? How much is the lobby? How much is the senior center? How much is the baseboard?
Even the walls,
And the walls, just have them break it out and tell them exactly
If it's
that.
25,000,
and tell
I
them-
wanna know it's 25,000 and I wanna know how we're getting there.
And tell each guy that's doing the quote, you have to quote it like that, or don't do it.
And there's,
Sound
I
good,
mean,
Jamie?
Wonderful.
that stuff's really not gonna match the stuff that's on, I mean,
And the other thing that's hard when you're comparing apples to apples is the type of carpet that they have to offer. I mean, you can change $1 a square foot and the color can just change a little bit. So as far as that goes, I don't really know a whole lot about carpet. I just say what kind of warranty. Tell them to price a carpet that's maybe a 25-year warranty or something, and tell the other guys the same thing, 25-year warranty. Just, and then later on you can go pick your colors of carpet.
Totally agree, 100%.
Sounds good to me. I guess you can,
I'll keep working on it.
That's where you make the big bucks, Jamie.
I love taking other people's duties.
Who do you want, I mean, who do you want us to handle it?
You guys requested Jeff to handle it and I did it.
You do, you're
I will
awesome.
take care of it. It's just taking me a little longer than I planned.
What you got, Don?
I've been there for 3.5 years. I've skated. I started with my daughter when she was in preschool. I work in that building. I've done it all. Apples to apples, oranges to apples. You've got to look at what needs to be taken care of first and foremost. You also have to, and Jamie and I have extensively talked about this, you have to look at what needs to be taken care of first, what is budgeted. What's gonna make it look good, yes, is important. But at the same time, I'm telling you right now, senior center does not need to be carpeted. That is needing to be taken totally out of the equation because that is going to be more extensive and more money than needs to be. As long as we get somebody to clean it correctly, which was not done this last year at all, the whole building, that needs to be taken into consideration, the good cleaning of it. Number 2, the walls. My suggestion to the council is go over there, take a look at stuff.
So
Take a look. If you haven't been there for a long time, take a look. Peel, there's parts, peel off a little that's already coming off of the walls that is nasty around the skating rink. If we can get somebody that is qualified and good at cleaning it, let's do that because it's gonna be more money to go in, yank it off. Who knows what you're gonna find behind that with drywall, the makeup of the building, all of that stuff. It's common sense. Take a look at it. Go see what we're dealing with. Because you can spend a lot.
I haven't been in the building for at least 10 years, so
I mean,
I would like
Take a
to,
field trip.
we either all go over and look at it, or we go look at it individually before the next meeting, or whenever. I think we should, I'm kind of a visual person. If I can't see something, I have trouble figuring it out.
no, I mean, I agree, look at what needs done first, but we need to know what's the max we could be looking at, and then we'll look at, this needs done first, let's budget it this time, I mean, but for starters, we need to get the quote everything, and see what we're looking at, come up with a plan for how we'll replace it, and see if we can have the rec help us with it too. I mean, Sean made it clear that they are willing to help, maybe not 20 grand, but help somewhat, so.
Right.
Stick to your plan, James.
Thank
I'll
you
make
guys
my-
for listening to me.
Excel sheet prettier for you.
moving on, Wit Center approved agreement. Have they seen this?
Yes, I double checked with Trey today and they didn't have any changes, so everything looks good to go.
Good to go, John.
Till they move out.
Yeah, I was, my direction to Jamie was to have it first want to review it and then get it to the rec commission, so I haven't heard anybody suggest any changes before it got to council.
The meters are in at the ball field.
When I left for vacation, Jeff said that the one water one was in, but he couldn't find the other water one
On what again?
at the ball field.
To get it to the wreck, separate it?
I mean, are they,
I don't
is the
know.
rec set up and they're getting the bill starting, what, 3 days ago, 4 days ago?
Not that I know
He couldn't find the one water meter, and I haven't seen him long enough to ask him if. But I don't know that.
Is he talking about the one that waters the field, the old whatever it was, pipe out there that they used to hook on?
of. Yeah, with that sprinkler system.
Yeah, I
But
would
the other
say
water
just
meter is
don't
there
even
and they
hook it
will
up.
be billed.
Don't use it, don't waste your money putting a meter in.
I don't know if we can start billing them until the contract's in place or But yeah, they'll be billed from whenever.
But the last meeting, one of
We
the
need
last
to-
meetings, he said that there wasn't, I thought he said there weren't any meters.
They were gonna install one.
The concession stand is metered currently,
Right.
right? They just haven't been getting billed for it, but what about the electric meter? Where, you know where we're at on that, Jason?
I think, if I remember right, he's got a box ordered for it,
Okay.
because it takes a bigger, it's like a 200 amp meter.
Is that the box that I picked up in Great Bend?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure if we're approving that we go through with everything in there. I mean,
That's what I'm
I'm
asking.
right with Ross on it. If we vote for it now and it never changes, they can be getting free utilities for another 30 years.
Well, I know, I went with him when I was down there, I had to do that list that she was talking about, and he come down there, when I was there putting the new plug-ins and stuff in there, and he took the big panel off, and he was looking, he did trace out where everything went, and then that's when he seen where it went, and it was a bigger, 3-aught wire, so he had to get a bigger box.
I'd say let's approve it, leave it on old business and ask him, make sure everything's good to go at the next meeting.
And all of the cities, everything, we have to meter all of the water, so all of that is there, but.
Yeah, I would agree with that pipe or whatever out in the outfield.
If they get it redone, we'll have to.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'll just put their own well in there, and they're not gonna buy water from the city to water the field. But I don't see any point in wasting any money putting city putting in a big can, a big meter for that.
Is there rules on drilling a well in town now? I
Yeah.
thought some of
They
that.
have to come in and get an application.
Application has to be approved by council.
Well, I'd make a motion to approve the WIT Center agreement with the city.
Rec agreement.
What do you call it?
I was calling it the rec agreement because it had more to do than just the width.
The rec agreement.
Yeah, it looked good. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0.
Hey, Jamie, this says, oh, today is the 6th. Oh, you must have added that date in there. Okay, never mind.
Sometimes I'm on top of it.
None of that, you know.
New business, scheduled budget training.
So along with the budget does need to come my caution with this is the city has spent a lot of time and efforts in creating one before, and then for whatever reason, either change of council, change of whoever, it doesn't get followed. Which, I mean, there's nothing we can do about that but try our best while we're here. But I do want to point that out that it has been attempted, and it just with the, I mean, every 2 years we're changing council members, and with that comes different opinions on what should be worked on. And so it's, I don't know, I guess I'm saying that with caution. Not that I don't want to do it, because we need a strategic plan and we need a view of our path and what we intend to do, but
Well, you're 100% right, but it's like, if I'm not here in 2 years, that's my time left. A lot of it goes down to your give a shitter. If you give a shit about the future of the city, you're gonna push for it. And I think, regardless of who's ever here, I'm just gonna leave it to you that this is kind of what we decided on and try to push the next council for it. But right now, I mean, I'm on board for doing something like
Right.
that. So I think it's really important.
right. Okay, and so with that, we had kind of talked about that when we did the last budget or not the budget training, the training we did in November, like the council.
On Saturday morning.
Wichita State, the same program offers, like she had told us, that they can come out and give us, like, their outside opinion, you know, because we see St. John here, and if someone comes in from the outside, not saying that either one is the best, but it is an option where we could bring someone outside that would question it would basically be the gym of the meeting and direct us to look on maybe the other side and open up questions. So that is an option, or we can just plan however many Saturdays or however many.
I thought the meeting was quite worthwhile when she came out, which she gives us a lot of ideas, and she sees things that we don't. I mean, you look at things, something from 20,000 feet, it looks a lot different than,
I think you were just amazed that she could pick out what type of people each of us were.
She did do that very well.
She did do that really well.
I'm all in favor of.
Is there-
Plan, we need to get something in place rather than just.
And that's gonna be the biggest thing with the changing of the budget. You know, I can only do so much with my knowledge, and this year was especially hard because I jumped into part of the budget that I had no clue of what the intentions were for the next year and a half. So with that being in place, it would be, you know, we transfer money to these reserve accounts and do all of this, but why are we transferring those monies? What is the plan? What are we working towards? We have all of these funds set up, but why? And how? And
If you talk to that lady, is there somebody we can actually pay to come to St. John and meet with you and Jeff and just drive around town and look at the roads, look at the ones that were most traveled on, look at the ones that really need fixed soon, and at the same time, when all that's done, and the infrastructure, when Jeff tells them the condition it's in, and then have them, you can show them how much money we have to play with, how much we transfer each year, and maybe they can put together a plan for us. If we could pay somebody, I mean, that's what, because we don't know.
Yeah,
All
that's
that's-
right. The price in 10 years is gonna be different than the price tomorrow.
I just think if we can pay somebody that knows what they're doing and knows the amount of money we have to play with.
I understand what you're saying, but part of that, like, it's easy to pay someone to do what you need to do, but I feel like if we are all involved making the progress to where we want to be, we'll be more vested in what we're doing.
I agree, I don't know anything about infrastructure or
Let me-
roads.
let
That's what
me
I'm getting
reach
at.
out. Well, Jeff and I are current, well, I don't know about currently, but Jeff is, voiced that he is gonna be working on getting some of the beginning steps of the sewer project started, so we can hopefully move forward on getting a plan to replace and repair sewers. 'Cause that is a major issue right now.
And I think we've got almost all of our sewer systems that have been cambered at one time. It's been a while.
Yeah, that was like
But
20 or 30 years ago.
20 years ago, they were bad, they've never been fixed, so
Yeah.
you can only imagine what they look like now.
But we've
Well, they
also
haven't been
talked about,
maintained either, did they?
right.
Right.
So we have talked about re-camera and stuff like that, but it's just things like that. Like, we can associate the strategic plan with the budget, but like Marshall said, those numbers aren't always gonna match up. And you know, just because you strategically plan in 5 years that you wanna do this, it might not be.
It's hard, I mean, that's why nobody's done it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing
Well,
it.
they had a strategic plan when, was it Mary, what's her name? Mary, Julianne? They have a
We had
strategic
one.
plan then?
Before that, I think, I don't remember.
So there has been one, but
So as far as for
Just-
There was
starters,
one, but then there was a lot of turnover within
with
the
council.
city and city council, administration, employees.
so.
You know, the main ones I get nervous about is the ones at the school buildings. That one over here in the school is that little side of town. And I put a scenario up to Jeff, and it went good. What could happen if that collapsed? And that's a scary thought.
So are you saying for starters, let's call up that lady from Wichita?
I can get a hold of her and ask her the process, and then if you guys want Jeff and I to meet with her first, But I feel very strongly that you guys should be involved in it.
I think you're absolutely right.
I think you could probably get with her and then we could
Council
decide
and
at next
anybody
council
running
meeting.
for council should be involved. You know, if
I
you're.
think anybody that wants to be involved should be involved.
Yeah. 'Cause I think there's communities that have like community meetings for stuff like that.
I mean, I think there's other people in this community that probably need to hear some of this stuff.
Yeah,
And we
but
should be
would-
getting the results back from that first impressions. And we'll be having I think we have to have a town hall meeting for that too, so that would also open up an opportunity to hear people and,
You can't do a lot with roads unless you fix what's underneath them first.
Yeah, there's no sense in fixing all the roads and then tearing them back up to fix what's underneath them.
Exactly, and I was out on my bike this morning riding some places, and it's like, trucks are parked. It's like, this is going to be another incident of, you know, you already have inch-wide cracks in your streets. Sealing them's not gonna fix them. I mean, we got some serious problems in the streets, and then we've got the sewer underneath, and I've looked at the videos with Jeff going to the sewers. It's, I don't know what you do. I don't, it's above my expertise, but it's gonna be expensive.
Well, we gotta start somewhere, so you guys all agree to have Jamie look into that
I think
lady?
so.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ross?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, we gotta start the budget, to put the budget, anything other than the most important thing we're all here for is absurd.
Yep.
It's, that's why I was so worked up about it at the last meeting. I wasn't trying to take it out on Jamie, but, I mean, the thing needs analyzed, detailed, flipped upside down, dissected, put back together 3 times. Argued about, people get frustrated, do it again. Yeah.
and I'll talk to Nita on their process and see all of that and next year we can
Just,
implement
I mean,
something.
just going with what was last year, I'm not saying it's not a good start.
I can email you what she emailed me to do it. It's basically just a spreadsheet and it's got every line item. And it's what your current budget is, what your proposed budget, how much you're raising it and why you're raising it. And then you submit that and then you go in and they say, well, they go through it and, well, we'll look over it and we'll let you know. And then you go back in and they say, well, we need to cut it here, here, and here, or you need to cut this much out of it, figure out
So
what
do
you're
you guys
doing.
have to change the 2019? Cause if she's, from the sounds of it, she sends it out in like March, April.
Yeah, somewhere in there. April or May, I think, is when I got it. When
'Cause
we
that was
started
always-
working on it.
That was always the thing was, when LaDonna went over it with me, it was, we do it at this time because this is half a year and then we can.
Right.
So
I
wonder
basically
how
took
she-
my budget and I worked it up and I met with all the other fire chiefs in the county and we discussed our budget as a whole, where we wanted to go with it, what we wanted to do, why we wanted to do it. We approved it as a whole, then we submitted it and the commissioner said, well, that ain't gonna work, so you need to figure it out. And so we went back over it and resubmitted it and
And some counties are gonna be more hands-on with their departments, or some cities are more hands-on with their departments. And others, they just want the paperwork and they don't wanna meet with you.
See, and I think that's how it's been in the past.
And I think when that happens, it's a lot of control problems at the top with the city administration. And I'm not saying here, I mean, in other cities. And I think it's very good that council meets, has a budget workshop, and meets with the department heads. It's open, okay, to the public, but it does it independently.
Absolutely. It's
Well, and I
overwhelming
think-
all at once, but when you just dissect it and split it out,
Mhm.
one at a time and go through it, it's totally
Well, and
handleable.
then when you have a question, you can ask that department head, why are you doing this? We see what you wrote, but break it down for us. Why did you raise 60,000 in the one line item? Whatever, because that's what the commissioner's done to me, why did you do this? And so I explained it to him, exactly what that was there to purchase. And I think you need to do that 2 or 3 times before you ever approve the budget with each department.
Or should be presented, shouldn't have to ask.
That's right. Definitely needs changed, definitely needs analyzed. Definitely not happy with how we did it. So,
And Jim, you're thinking you wanna start this whole process in April, you said?
I mean, that's the way it sounds.
Yeah.
If we want, if we
I don't know
want,
why, I don't know why you wouldn't wanna start in April. At least get all your department heads and send them out their stuff and say, you need to start on this and I need it no later than this date.
Yeah, the earlier you start, the better.
Yeah.
Because council is gonna review these and then ship them back to you if they don't like them or call you in to discuss them.
right,
It's not a one Saturday deal, it's
It's a
a
multiple.
one Saturday per department deal, if you ask me. It's not, it's just business. It's just, we all need to understand it, department heads included.
and I think that we'll have to, I'll just have to talk to Jeff, cause that's gonna be the biggest thing is Alan will be a little bit easier cause he's still molding, but Jeff's been taught like I have been to wait because we need the half a year. You know, that's how I was taught, I guess, to do the budget.
To compare to.
Right. And I'll just have to do that when I'm entering in on the final, is to get the closer numbers.
And I mean,
I guess you
obviously,
just go up the year previous.
Well, they want your they want your current year to be as close to estimate as, and that would just be something that when I'm entering everything in, that I can just do.
See, and I think it'd help to see where you ended up in like 18, what you actually budgeted for in 19, not where you're projected to be, but what you budgeted for, and what your proposed budget is for 20. That way you're not looking at, well, we're gonna be at this at the end of 19, and we see 19's, this one line item's $100,000, but in 2020, it's 160,000.
Bring them up.
It looks like it's a $60,000 increase, but we might have actually budgeted for 19 for 145,000, so it's only a $15,000 increase.
Right.
I mean, comparing the actual
And-
budget instead of where you're gonna end up, what you budgeted for in
Right.
2019.
And that's, like, the budget shows what you guys saw, and that's what raised
Right.
some questions, but when they get the budget worksheets, I try to put, like, the exact, the budgeted, the current,
You're doing them year to date.
right,
Right.
the current year to date, and then next year proposed, for the
And you can bring
worksheets.
them up quarterly, where we can look at things quarterly, and then year to date, you know, and that way everybody has a better idea how we're spending the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, cause I'd like to be able to answer that to the taxpayers if they ask me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure I can do that now.
I don't feel comfortable with it.
I mean, not without digging and looking at it a lot
Exactly.
closer.
and with this, the budget training, I mean, obviously the department heads are in that training too. So we'll move the strategic plan / budget training to old business.
I would also like not just department heads, I feel like the supervisors should be included, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah,
Yup.
I'm absolutely all right with that. Yep.
Because the more they know, the more we'll be able to prepare.
The more ownership they have of their department, if they're
Right.
involved.
Yep. Okay, anything else on that? All right, I guess we will recess
What,
to.
hold, we're done with new business? Do land
No,
bank?
I'm getting ready to recess it to the land bank.
I wasn't here. I was gonna amend the agenda for new business on the dumpster,
Oh,
south side of
do you
town.
wanna add that for next week? Or you
I
wanna
would like
talk
to
about
discuss it
tonight?
now. I'd like to amend the agenda to discuss the dumpster, city dumpster on the south side of town.
Make a motion.
But before the land bank, is what you're saying.
You wanna do it right now?
Well, I wanted to do, it's a new business, I was thinking.
Yeah, you wanna do it right now
Yeah.
then? Okay.
Yeah.
Got a motion, is there a second? Got a second? Motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed?
I'm not sure why we're discussing the dumpster,
Motion passes 4-0. We will discuss the dumpster on south of your power plant.
but.
Let's hear it.
Go ahead. On that dumpster south of town, obviously, Unruh's have the franchise in town to where They took care of our trash now, and they've chosen to pick Stone out over somebody we have here in town that just started doing the dumpster. I think we should see about bringing in, is it Grant, is the head guy? Bring him in maybe the next meeting and just tell him, you know, around here, we're pretty big about being local. What's the deal? What can we do to change it to where we have our local guys here doing it? I mean, Chad's buying fuel here, food here, he employs guys here. I want to see all that money that's going out. I mean, it's several $100s a month, and I'd like to keep it here. So I'd like to have him brought in at the next meeting and see if we can change it.
Grant also agreed with Chad that he would take on the residential, but he was going to keep the commercial, the city dumpster.
Yeah.
But if people wanted to rent the dumpster, Grant, Unruh Brothers, because our whole contract is through Unruh, so everything that we do has to go through them. So they
surrendered that willingly.
correct,
They allowed Chad to set them for individual people,
correct,
but
but they still,
Unruh's kept the one for the city.
correct.
And you're wanting to see if we can work something out
With
with
him to keep
Unruh's.
that, because that's several $100s leaving the county. I mean,
They
I
have an
guarantee.
agreement with Stone that Stone does their big business and they handle the littler stuff. I mean, is that?
I don't
We
know.
don't know the details.
I don't know. I just know that that's who set ours in.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. They fuel up their trucks in Great Bend. I guarantee you, drive down here and back, and the
I'm
guys
not
eat
pushing
down
those
there.
Unruh boys around. We got the best trash service we've ever
Right.
had in Jim's
No.
lifetime.
No,
And we ain't getting rough with the Unruh
No.
boys. I'm not on board with that at all.
I'm not saying that. I just say we need to just have a discussion
And
and
I-
see where it goes.
I've
We just need to look at
I've
the
already
contract.
called
I don't
and-
remember what the contract said.
I've called and had discussions with Grant.
I mean,
Because I don't
he
think-
didn't have to allow
Yeah, and I
the
don't think,
residential
because a
thing.
lot of people don't understand that our entire solid waste contract
Correct.
is through them. And so
Correct.
when I learned that Chad was starting this business, I wanted to reach out and just let him know that, hey, like, you can't set these without approval
I
because,
think there's a permitting process for providing solid waste service
yeah, I don't.
under
I don't-
ordinance, and we did that specifically to establish the franchise for Unruh.
Oh, so he shouldn't even be,
Because
Setting
the
for
some, right, the way we did it was so that the council would approve permits, so if somebody wanted to do it, they'd have to come forward, and council would say, we can't do this, it violates our contract with Unruh. But if Unruh is allowing it.
Well, but it wouldn't be different than Unruh's contract in Stones to set a dumpster.
And then, there's nothing wrong with that, yeah, I mean, we have nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying, let's check into it. I mean, when I got on council, I was all about local. I mean, that's just money leaving the county, and I'd just like to check into it.
Since when Unruh Brothers aren't local?
No, they are.
Seriously, they're,
But they're not hiring local guys, is what I'm getting at. I like Unruh guys. They're good. They've
my
done
thing
great.
with it is
I'm
I
just saying,
had
let's
to
check
address
into
it.
it.
No one
You
came
just
to
wanna
us.
see under,
Hire our local guys here,
down
is all I'm
down
saying.
power plant, have Chad bring in the dumpster. I assume Chad's probably already talked to Under Brothers about that. Maybe they didn't want to do that, so, you know,
I don't know, guys. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to push for local. That's what I've always done since I got on here.
if
So
they've got
whether
the
you guys-
contract, I don't see how we can change the contract.
Well, and I assume they've had to have discussions about it, so I don't know if you've talked to Chad, because when I found out that business was happening, I went and talked to him about it and gave him Grant's phone number, and so they made that discussion and they made that agreement, and they are good with it, so,
I imagine this is what I'm gonna tell you. They've got a deal with Stone that he's handling it in multiple areas where they're servicing it for them. And Kansas Dirt may or may not, or Kansas Waste may or may not be able to compete or do. But we can check into it. It's ain't a bad idea.
I mean, I think it's something if Jamie can get a hold of him and have him come to the next meeting and see if we can work
Yeah.
something out for starters. And let's see if we can get anywhere with it. Is all. I'm not saying I want to bully the guy around. They've done great for us. Or you guys okay with it?
I'm good with that. I don't-
I mean, we certainly can't.
You're gonna get a lot better in the discussion than you are anywhere else.
All you can do is talk to them and find out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
nothing hurts. I think maybe we need to get prices, what it cost us through Stones or through Unruh's, and what Chad's gonna charge us. Because if it costs us
But we don't pay
$3,000,
Stone, do we?
well, we pay Unruh's.
That's right.
Who pays Stone? Stone charges Unruh's, Unruh's charge us.
And see, that agreement isn't even how it's with Chad. They gave it all to, Chad does his own thing with the residents here.
Yeah, they
Which
don't,
may or may not be up to
Yeah.
par.
Well, and the solid waste that was such a problem for so long, for the longest time it became a permanent part of my
You're
briefcase.
welcome.
And I think I may have filed it away at some point in the last couple of months. Because at one point we had trucks
If we
repossessed.
have an agreement with Unruh's and
Unruh's have a franchise
I, franchise on
for all
solid
solid waste.
waste, so,
Therefore, they can choose who they allow to do what they want,
exactly.
period.
I think we should just leave that.
Well, but
We
I
didn't
don't,
have a business in town either at that time. I'm just all about supporting locals, all I'm saying.
I don't think we can do anything, but just talk to them, mention, you know, we'd like this to happen, I mean, we can't
Check
force it.
into it.
right.
You know,
Let's just
sounds
check
like to
into
me.
it.
Yeah, I don't think you can force them to do anything. Not with
Exactly.
the agreement,
I've
but we
already
could
had that
ask them.
conversation. We'll bring him here and you guys.
And
can-
you'll never know unless you ask.
But while we're on the
They might say
dumpster
yes, they might say no.
topic, if anyone comes and complains, or if you guys wanna help spread the word, cardboard's not allowed in it. There's a big sign that talks about what's not allowed, and also dead animals wrapped in trash bags are preferred to not go in there.
We got surveillance.
Yeah, it happened at 10:30 at night. Jeff's gonna install some lights so we can start seeing what's going on at night.
What kind of animal?
I don't know. It's oozing out of the bag though.
Well,
It's pretty right.
You know, I
That's
went
pretty
down by
good.
there the other night, yeah, there's just a boatload of stuff.
It's being very misused and I'm very discouraged about it.
I mean, there was a couple lawnmowers in there when I went by.
Yeah, and we're gonna look at getting and updating even the camera systems because I've been having a few issues with that. And so it's gonna be surveillanced and I will spend hours down there after hours if I need to. Cause it's just out of control right now.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we live in a small town, the word gets around. I think find the hell out of them, and the word will get around where people are gonna learn the hard way.
Like the one dumpster was literally 3 truckloads. One was a business, and the one business continues to throw cardboard in there.
Have they been contacted?
I'm working on that. I haven't found the appropriate way that I need to handle this person yet. So yes,
We can
I
talk
found-
about that.
I found the video yesterday. So
I
it's
just
on
find the hell out
it's
of
on
them.
my
They'll
list
get
for
around.
tomorrow.
Do we have a fine established?
Yep.
But then the other, like, we had one other family take 2 heaping truckloads of old furniture and stuff and I did, she came in to pay her bill and I just reminded her that, you know, it's not intended for large loads, so. After we get the cameras and all of that and everything, it'll be great, but people are.
The cameras aren't sufficient enough the way they are. as we
The
said.
problem, yeah, there's just some issues and I'm gonna look at getting, we have some money in with the pool, with NPR. We have some money that I wasn't aware of, that they have like a savings account almost. And cameras are something that they'll reimburse with this money that's sitting out there. So,
Then don't go cheap on the cameras.
so we're gonna look at,
Is it cameras for specific reasons or?
I have to
use it put on it?
Yeah, I have to contact them because we need to replace the cameras out at the tree site. I don't know, people have been dumping random stuff out there still, and that will shut it down, like that could get us shut down from the state
Yeah.
if there's things out there that shouldn't be. So we need to get that changed and just better, yeah, we're just gonna look at getting everything better and video all the time.
Done.
What is the ordinance or whatnot for dead animals? What do you do with them? If if you have dead animals. I know you're not supposed to, I don't know the exact ordinance. I know you're not supposed to bury them in town, or if you do bury them in town, there are certain specifics and things and rules and such.
I think they take all the dead animals out to the tree dump, don't they?
Is that what they do?
Like the roadkill, I know they take them out there. I actually just recently had a guy, his dog passed away. And if people call, we try to work with people and help as much as we can. Like I went and helped load this guy's dog up for him because he couldn't do it. So, I mean, the guys just went and unlocked the gate for us, and he went out there and took care of it. So, I don't know if he buried it. Did you go with Jeff that day?
I just wanted to know, I can't totally come with the note.
I don't know if he
I didn't know
buried
what
it out
was,
there,
so
or
I
if he
just
just took
wanted
it
to
out
know
there.
what it
So, but I know that's where the guys take it. So that's what I offered, I guess.
And number 2 would be, because of family stuff that I've gone through, we had to rent a huge trash bin. They had certain rules and stuff like that as far as furniture and stuff like that. Cut it down, make it smaller, break it. Unruhs will pick it up, but you have to pay per every time that they pick it up. That's not unreasonable. Instead of doing it out there, yeah, it may cost a family more, but this is one way to alleviate what's going on out there, if that makes any sense. And that's
It's just people taking advantage of it.
Exactly.
But yeah, Unruhs are very good
They're
about.
going to dump them there, they're going to dump them out in the country, and Ross and I are going to get to pick them up.
I think it's a fantastic thing, we need to get it under control, but I'm totally on board. I can't even fathom how much trash comes out of our town. I drive by it about 5 times a day. It is amazing, whether it's supposed to be in there or not, where does it all come from? It's just truly unbelievable.
Grant and I have that
I
conversation a
didn't
lot.
think at some point in time you'd start seeing a big change around.
I
some of
mean,
these
you
places.
really would. Somebody's basement's getting cleaned somewhere. I don't know where, but somebody's is.
Orders.
But I'm all for it, but we need to get it under control, better managed, but I'm all for it. Okay.
Okay, moving on, I guess we will recess regular meeting. And we will open up the land bank. I guess I get to stay in charge of it too. On the land bank, we have a 10-minute executive session to discuss property acquisition, to include council and city clerk and attorney.
How long?
10 minutes, resume at 8:51. Got a motion?
Second.
Second? All in favor? Passes 5-0. Call the meeting back to order. You guys will have to make a motion.
So make a motion that the president of Land Bank, Marshall Sanders, attend the sheriff's sale with the interest to buy any properties that are available on the tax list in St. John with good intentions.
Got a motion? Second? Any more discussion? All in favor?
No,
All opposed? Okay. Motion carries.
Are we going to drop our mowing fees and stuff right before the sale?
We cleared that last
Did
year.
we?
Yeah,
And that's been corrected.
yeah, that's our record.
I believe. So, I think we discussed that last week, or last meeting. With no other business with the land bank,
If you need loaders or something, I can get one in.
Doesn't the fire department, like, do you do any of those?
Can't legally burn them
Can't.
down.
Oh, you can burn them, but it costs a lot of money to have them inspected through the state before you can burn a house.
See, the city of Pratt burned some stuff. I don't think it was their fire department, but when that house burned down downtown, the city of Pratt, they had the option of hiring somebody to do it, which was X number of dollars, or the city could do it itself. It would have been
There's
cheaper.
different rules if you can get a private contractor to burn it down.
No, the rules apply to the private contractor, but I say that, I think there may have been insurance money that covered it too, so I don't know, I know the city did it for a lot cheaper though,
You can, you just have to have it inspected. The state has to come out and inspect it for asbestos.
asbestos.
Well, then if it has asbestos,
So if it's, okay,
then you have to remove it. Now, the state does allow for live burning scenarios on a house. You can have so many shingles on a house to burn it, but the rest have to come off. I mean, so, because you can't burn shingles, so I mean, you have to have the roof, the shingles removed, any asbestos, you have to have everything tested.
KDHE, the regulation and program.
Right,
So you just crush it down and haul it to landfill.
Yep.
right.
And we got the fees waived now, so when
Yeah.
we do turn it down.
I guess with no other business in the land bank, motion to adjourn land bank.
So moved.
Okay.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Motion carries, land bank's adjourned. Then we'll go back into regular council. Administration. We probably need to, well, that's all new business.
We'll put down, what's that about?
But
I'd say,
We will
Whatever
move
the executive
administration, we'll come back to administration after the executive sessions.
We'll discuss employee performance.
The first one would be, Jamie, how long do you need for that one?
3
10
minutes.
3 minutes?
Really? 3 minutes.
I mean, if you guys have a ton of questions about it, then we have a problem.
We can call it 10 and we can come back early.
No, this one won't take long.
Okay.
It's really me
No,
just
3
updating.
minutes, it's enough.
It's just me updating you on a situation.
3-minute executive session to discuss employee performances to include council,
On what
City.
personnel to discuss.
She's not a clerk anymore, though.
Not hired yet.
she is city clerk and the attorney for 3 minutes to resume at 8:59.
Try.
Got a motion?
so moved.
Motion,
Second.
second, all in favor? Passes 5-0. But how does that work with me?
You're still considered a council member. You
Well, then we
just,
had a quorum, there were 3 of us.
no, it's
You can
a
still
quorum of
vote.
governing bodies, so quorum of everybody in Mark, that's the problem.
Call the meeting back to order. Let's see here, I gotta find my notes. We have a 5-minute executive session, non-elected personnel for potential hire. To include, do we want all of us? You want Jamie?
I would,
No, but we can bring her in if we need her.
Correct.
Do you want
that's
more
fine,
than 5
yeah,
minutes?
I agree with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Do we need more than 5 minutes? You want 10?
Yeah.
10-minute executive session, non-elected personnel, potential hire, to include counsel and attorney. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? We'll resume at 9:11. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Call regular council meeting back to order. We'll go back to administration. Guess this is,
I move that we appoint Jamie to be the city administrator for the duties associated with
got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Jamie, do you have anything to say?
Not right now.
that. Okay, I'll say it. One, we'll have John's gonna put some stuff together, so you have a flow sheet of your organizational chart. We've all agreed that we have your back I think everybody thinks you're doing a good job. You're going to have some come to Jesus meetings. And we will have to have your back in those.
Correct.
And I
Priorities.
don't know what the outcomes are going to be, but we'll get the organizational chart, and you're going to be there, and the mayor's going to be a ceremonial position that runs meetings.
Priorities,
Light, sewer, electricity,
number one.
just
Right.
taking things that need done, make sure they get done, follow through. Communication with the council.
Yeah, I've talked with John about getting a little bit more knowledge on, like, the reporting back to you on what's going on and keeping you guys updated, and since it will be more of, this is what we've done, or this is what we plan to do.
Have a more full agenda.
And my idea is, as we discussed, is instead of coming to the meetings expecting a report from her, you guys have a report already, and if you have questions at those meetings, and those reports are all public, they're part of the packet and everything else. If somebody has an issue, they can come and address that during the citizen comment section, but certainly it will make meetings flow quicker.
Absolutely.
Anything else on the discussion? Got a motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0. And then last, we have a 10-minute executive session for non-elected personnel to discuss the Elster contract. To include council, attorney, city administrator.
Do I have to change everything?
So moved.
To resume at 9:25.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Back to order. Have we covered everything? With no further business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries 5-0. Meeting adjourned.